love me, yeah, they love me. First love yourself. For that, and God we trust me. I don't trust myself. Your jewelry, I get it took. No show.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Florida, Texas, and New York. So if you're located in one of those locations, make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog Fantasy app. They will also match your first deposit up to $100, and you get a special pick when you sign up. Of course, I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts, Cam and Mace.
What up? You ready today? If he dies, he dies.
You've been feeling yourself for us lately. you You got a couple good days, and you've been feeling yourself. You know what I want to tell you?
What?
I was trying to give you some credit.
Oh, okay.
You was right about California and Colorado.
Oh.
Smacked the shit out the nigga who told me that shit. All right, you've been on the road the last couple of days, so congratulations.
Yeah.
It stops today.
It stops today.
It stops today.
Yeah, you've been hanging out with DR and you think you got the power of words now. Nigga think he got the power of words now. He said stop today.
Because you've been at him.
Yeah.
You've been at him. Okay, say no more.
After a hit in the Colorado game, Travis Hunter was taken to the hospital and will be out for a couple weeks. It was reported the player who hit him on Colorado State's team revealed that him and his family received death threats. What are your thoughts?
I think
without saying anything.
What's her name, nigga? I don't know what we was talking about, but I don't approve, but I understand.
Yeah,
That's what you said.
That's what I was thinking. Death threats, that's the beginning. That's the beginning of what he did, you know. He messed up a lot of bags right now. I don't know what they told him. I don't know who said that was a good idea, but listen, and y'all hit the Deion dance. Right now is not the time to be playing with Colorado. I'm telling you that right now. I may not have my cowboy hat on, but you know it's Colorado time in here.
We're going to get back to that because I'm going to stay on this good. You know what somebody said today? They said, you and Wallow got 1,800 different teams. They said, whatever's going on, you got 7,200 different teams. That's the word on the net.
The word on the street is that Wallow got more teams than me.
Yeah, I ain't going to lie.
I go with rings. I go with the winners, you know. I got winning in my DNA, Cam. What you want me to say?
You can't stick with niggas when they damn pause. That was one question. I have a second question before I chime in.
No, I'm sticking with Kansas City. That's my team.
We just talking about college, though.
I know, but Colorado is my team outside of Florida.
That was crazy.
Thank you.
Outside of Florida.
The one time I will say.
My question has nothing to do with your teams. I already know what's going on with your teams.
Cam.
It's not,
I said outside of Florida.
It's not, see, you so defensive that you think it's a question like that. It's not one of them questions. It's a question about what you just said. The question is, you said, this is just the beginning for the chapter. What else is going to follow if this is just
I'm saying like the death threats is the beginning. And then you got to get ready for people trying to really take it there. People take this serious. I'm not saying that they should. Listen to me. I'm not saying you should, but I understand. You know, if somebody was playing with your $1 million, how would you feel?
It's more than $1 million, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. We're just starting it at $1 million, but I mean, this is a guy, Paul's playing both sides of the ball, like I told you Deion did.
Okay.
Hey, Cam.
I'm not even here to debate you just yet.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just letting you know.
Just
I'm
yet.
prepared, you know?
Okay, cool.
And Stat said something that wasn't correct as well, but we'll deal with that a little later.
I'm ready.
Since I'm here on cleanup time.
Yeah.
Pause, yeah.
Oh, you on street sweeper time. Okay.
I gotta set things straight around
Okay,
here.
say no more.
There's a new sheriff in town.
well,
I might not have my hat on.
I'm about to say that cowboy hat pause got you feeling away. You might be feeling Old Town Roadish pause. I hope you ain't feeling Old Town Roadish. No disrespect. I ain't gonna pause you with that yesterday, but no. But on a serious note, look, I have to agree with Mace. I'm not saying that violence is the answer. And threats are going to be threats. That happens in football, hopefully, in any sports. Just hopefully nobody takes it to the next level. But look, that was straight up targeting. Mm-hmm. The ref didn't call targeting. He didn't get kicked out the game. Not only that, the NCAA didn't double back and fine the team. I know he's too young to get fined. Suspend him a game. So, no action has been required. Required. No action has been done yet. And this is why fans is probably getting out of control. Now, mind you, they got Oregon coming up, and they got USC coming up, and this is a nigga who play on both sides of the ball, like you just said. So now we seen, me and Treasure was actually there, we seen when his presence is not there on defense, it's a problem. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Collab always saying
Caleb Williams.
Caleb, like, you know what I'm saying?
This is going to be a nightmare for Colorado. It is. I still got to tell the truth, Cam. Even though you're rooting from somebody, that doesn't mean you do not tell the truth. And people, why are you guys, you're pausing in there right now? You're watching because you know I tell the truth, right? But back to Cam. Let Cam tell you his theory.
You just say it's bold to do or die. Now it's a nightmare for them.
It is. It's still bold to do or die, but I'm saying if they don't have Hunter in the backfield.
I agree.
And you saw that same play they kept running in Colorado. What do you think USC going to look at it and say, we're not going to run that play? That play worked every single time.
Well, look, man, I was thinking about earlier, and I'm not saying Colorado State ain't come to play. They definitely came to play. But in-state, I was talking to Larry and a few other people, and they right, in-state rivalries are always the hardest. So when it's North Carolina against North Carolina State or Michigan against Michigan State.
The whole city is there.
Yeah, it gets personal with shit like that. So I'm not saying that Colorado State isn't good, but it's more of the, because it was like almost how we joke around or when you can say you ready tonight, Roy? Yeah. Like how Antonio Tarver, he was trolling Roy Jones before Roy Jones was even, before the word trolling existed. Yeah. So he was stalking them at press conferences saying, look, y'all talking about Roy Jones, the best fighter in the world. I don't even think he's the best fighter in Florida. So, you know what I'm saying? So if Colorado State would have won that game, they were like, how y'all making these niggas rank nationally and they not even the best team in the state?
In the state.
So, but I'm not disagreeing. I'm definitely not counting niggas out after that shit Shador pulled off and after I seen them act crazy. But this is a problem. This is a problem, and no action has been done by the NCAA. We have no idea if you're going to take action, and at this point, it may be too late to take action. Like, if you waited this long and haven't done anything about it, it's just a fucked up situation. I hope you recover very as quick as possible. Travis, don't rush to get back out there because you got a bright future. You got a decade and a half, maybe more of that ahead of you. So there's no rush to get back out there. But it really fucks the viewers over because this is what we've been waiting to see these next 2 weeks coming up.
Yeah, but on another note, if Tupac Shadur pulls this off, he's the Heisman. He doesn't have to perform another game. Tupac Shadur, listen. If you come to play on the West Side, after this game, you will be the Heisman.
I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah,
that's a good point.
Because listen, it's really up to the defense. I have no concern with anything on offense outside of, just a little more protection on the offensive line. And I'm pretty sure that Tupac Shador.
Yeah, Tupac Shador.
West Side shit. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the way, listen, and I'm not, there's no cappuccino, no nothing, bro. Like, we from Harlem.
Yeah.
We done seen it all. I mean, it's pretty much seen it all. I've never seen a nigga walk, not like I be in locker rooms pausing and that shit like that, but a nigga act like that. Like, I don't know why y'all was bugging like y'all thought we was going to lose. After every person in the building thought that you was going to lose, and he had to, bro, it was 17 seconds left on the team. Like, why would you think it's over? So I love his confidence, and we'll see how it goes, man.
He said he's just like Brady. That's the part that really was like, wow.
Did you see what Brady posted on his page?
What did he say?
He said, one day I want to be like Shador.
Be in Shador mode.
Yeah, he said, that's what he said.
Mode.
Brady tweet, he said, I just want to go in Shador mode one day.
But I told you this, Cam. I did tell you he'll mess around and be the one to win the Heisman. I don't know if you remember this.
Yo, Nick, we're going to go
back.
Why
are you shaking? Why are you shaking when I say
when we do this?
Why are you shaking when I say this, Cam?
Clip,
why is your lips shaking when I say this,
We're going to episode 1 because you make me that mad. Episode 1 real quick, and we're going to get a clip of Mason.
School is in session, which means it's officially college football season, and we're seeing a lot of special talent. But there's got to be a special player that you think should be the Heisman winner. So who do you think it should be, and what are we liking on the field?
I'm going with Hunter, another player that played wide receiver and defense. I'm coming back today with vengeance. Yeah, that's what I meant to say yesterday. I just tripped over my words. Sometimes my brain it stores so much knowledge and wisdom, it runs too fast,
Knowledge and wisdom is wild. That's what you're going with Hunter?
Yeah, I'm going with Hunter.
I think you just going with the wave. I think that's just what I think. I think you're like, oh, them niggas popping this week.
New hotness.
The new hotness. Nigga running with the new hotness. And we're back.
That was the wrong clip.
No, you said Travis Hunter. You said Travis
Hunter. And then I
Hunter.
said Shador. You picked the wrong clip. Everybody look at me. Cam is status doing this thing against me. I've been on such a roll. I can't make this up.
Yo, bro. First of all, it's you and Stat Florida against everybody. Now it's me and Stat against you. I have no idea how this works with you. Who's on your team and who's not, man. But it's fine. It seems like it seems like you acting like Bishop and Juice. To be honest
Tupac.
With you. Yeah. We was all your friends at one time, and now you leave. Now you out the window talking about still.
Yeah.
I know you don't know treasure what we're talking about.
And when I don't need you no more. That's exactly what type of time we on.
I ain't say no more. It's all good, man.
Yeah.
But much luck to the Buffalo, and hopefully y'all have a great game, man. But these next 2 weeks, I think, going to be their toughest weeks. And like you said, if they pull this off, I don't want to talk to nobody.
Yeah.
And real quick, for more context, I know a lot of people were calling it targeting, which the refs never did. But Colorado State's head coach did say that he reviewed the play, and he said it's a play that happens sometimes. That's certainly not something that we teach or coach. It happens in football sometimes. So that's all that he said about it.
The crazy part about this, and I don't know how much football you watch, Cam, but when I saw the coach.
I watch enough football to know Deion Sanders is not an all-time great wide receiver.
All right, so you watch a little bit of football.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so I don't know how much football you watch, but what I was going to say is this. I think that Colorado should be motivated because the coach from Oregon said that he don't know what's the big hype about Colorado. He's already jumping out the window.
And before we get to that, I would like to touch on that pause also, but them niggas is salty. The coach that just said that says it's not targeting all that. Look, I ain't going to hold you. You got to think, them niggas may be depressed the rest of the season. To be winning for 58 minutes and then lose in that fashion. Look, that's the definition of an ugly win and a pretty loss.
Yeah.
That was the exact definition of that shit. So that's, to me, as a grown man, like your mother taught you not to wear your glasses and your hat, you talking about kids. That's some sucker shit. What you should have said, even if you think that's true, that's some shit an NFL coach said. What you should have said, that we hope this young man ends up being all right. It was a football play. We understand it. It sometimes happens, but that's not what the point is. We hope that he gets back soon and we have our prayers and support for him. That's what your dumb ass should have said, nigga. Instead, you acting all salty because you lost. Niggas all out there with hat and glasses. Deion Sanders made $1.2 million in a day and a half off glasses. How dumb do you feel? Seriously, all jokes aside, a nigga told a nigga, my mother told me, take my hat and glasses. So nigga brought out the glasses. What's the name of his glasses? Shout out to Blended. Give me some, yo, Pretty Tony. Deion sent some Blended to the set. Niggas make, so look, Deion Sanders' salary is $5 million.
Yeah.
In a day and a half, he made 20% of his salary because you said some dumb shit. You gotta feel like shit, bro. You got to. Now, back to you said the nigga from Oregon was talking spicy?
Yeah, he said, what have they done for the conference? He said, what games have they won?
What they done for the culture?
Yeah. That's what he said. I couldn't believe it. I said, they didn't learn yet.
What I think is this, that Deion's hype train is so impressive. And Oregon, they're going to get some of it paused, but this weekend that just passed is not going to happen again. Maybe USC, you'll get 80% of what just happened. But you're not going to get The Rock, fucking Lil Wayne performing again.
Yeah.
All the major networks, they're covering it. So Oregon, I think all these schools are like, we're a great program. We're not getting the hype that we're getting. You know what? Let me shit on them this week so we could get some of that hype there. Hopefully we win. Are you realizing it hasn't been working? Have any of you coaches realized that this tactic that you guys have been trying to do has not worked yet? Hopefully it doesn't work again this weekend. And the reason I say that is because Deion ain't out here bashing y'all niggas. He's not saying, fuck wrong with Oregon. I don't know what the fuck, why they got all that green and shit out there. Fucking green and
they got Nike uniform.
Like it's the nigga motherfucking disrespecting y'all. Y'all find ways every week to find something disrespectful to say about Deion or the team or what the hype's about or whatever it is, and they're not being disrespectful towards you. So that, to me, that's jealousy. Y'all don't understand how marketing goes and how to get hype behind it, and y'all trying to figure it out, and it's not ending up good.
Well said. Okay. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes will now receive $210.6 million between 2023 to 2026. This is the most in NFL history over a 4-year span. How do you feel about this deal?
Well, put the camera on the expert. You know, I should be in the class of Michael Wilborn and them kind of guys. You know,
this nigga, Michael Wilborn. That's my nigga too. I fuck with Michael Wilborn. Michael Wilborn's like my favorite nigga. Pause. I fuck with him, yo.
Yeah. You know, people that actually know their stuff. You know.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Yeah, you talking about a guy who led the league, you know, in passes and touchdowns twice. Cam, did you know that?
Yeah, I did.
All right.
Yeah,
all right. Do you know what a CMP is?
Let me know. Tell me.
All right. No, I just want to know who I'm talking to because I want to go off some stats, but I like to know who I'm talking to and to make sure they know the things I'm talking about.
I'm right here. I'll explain
the
it to
great
me.
thing about talking is that you want to speak to your audience,
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, talk to me. So
all right,
teach me some things, man.
So
Pause.
I want to talk about, you know, my guy,
What's
Pat
CMP?
Mahomes. Huh?
What does it mean?
I don't want to get into all of that.
Exactly. Of course you don't.
I'm waiting for later to tell you that. You know? I got to bring you along slowly, you know?
What's his QBR?
Huh?
Oh, all right.
I know that. I know that.
What is it?
I know that.
What is it?
I know that.
Okay, what is
You
it?
talking about the quarterback rating?
I'm asking, what is Patrick Mahomes?
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm about to give you right now. The
Okay.
stats are right here.
Okay.
His completion rate is 66.2.
Okay.
Over about 25,000 yards, passing yards.
Well,
We're looking at
25,000 with
no
what?
24,772.
And within what span?
7 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I got these things out here. Yeah. I hope you don't think I come here unprepared. You know, if I'm gonna be a know-it-all, I gotta know it all. You know.
Go ahead.
All right. So we're also talking about a guy that got 105.2 passing rating.
Okay.
That's like, come on, Cam. 7 years straight, this guy has done it. No falling off, no setbacks. Not like your guy, Burrows, right?
So
He's
you're saying
he's
Patrick
just
Mahomes wasn't hurt?
No, I'm saying he's just more consistent.
What you said, no setbacks. That's what you
No
just said.
setbacks.
He was actually hurt.
But there's no setback.
It was a setback because they didn't win that year that he was hurt.
But he was still at the championship.
But they didn't win.
All right, I get what you're
Okay.
saying.
How many championships does he have in 7 years?
I didn't give you all of that.
I'm asking you. It's not everybody knows how many
He got 2
championships he had.
Super Bowls.
Right. What's the percentage of 2 out of 7?
It's more than Burrows.
Yeah, but you're right. He definitely has more than Burrows. How many complete seasons have Joe Burrows played?
I don't follow him. I follow the greats.
Okay, so Joe Burrows in the great?
Not according to Pat.
Not according to Pat. I think according to Pat, he is. I think he has a better record when they play head-to-head. Pause.
I know, but he doesn't win the championship. Cam is about rings. You remember
Who has all
AB came in with that ring on?
Listen, I agree with you. He hasn't won a Super Bowl yet, and he has time to do it, but he hasn't. Who has all the quarterback records in college?
Cam,
I'm asking you a question. I'm just asking, who has every last quarterback record in college? What player has it?
Cam.
Who has a ring in college? Who won the ring?
Cam. If you're talking football in college, I go with Tebow, but that's a whole nother conversation.
But he doesn't have all the records.
I know, but if
Who
you're talking
does?
about
If
the
you
rings,
know, I'm asking you does.
I don't follow those guys, Cam.
You just said you follow Tebow.
I follow Tebow because it's a Florida thing. I
hear
don't
you.
follow Burrows because it's an Ohio thing.
Well, listen, he has all the records. Just so you know.
That's good, but on a stage that counts.
Oh, it counts. So,
On the
college,
stage
so
that
now we just was talking about Dion
No, but
for the
we-
last 4 days.
Yeah, if we
It's
ended,
college.
that's just like you and I. If it ended in high school, then we could go with our high school records. But if we make it to the pros, we can't go off our high
I
school
dig that
records.
now, but don't act like college doesn't count.
It does for those who stay in college.
I agree with that. You know what's funny? real quick. You know what's funny? Yo, so I'm arguing with the nigga Stephon Marbury one day and shit. You know, Stephon Marbury is a friend of ours and shit. So I'm arguing with this nigga on Twitter and shit, and I'm like, I bust your ass, Steph. Pause. I'm like, yo, you ain't shit, Steph. I killed you every time we played. You know what happened when we played in high school? He said, yeah, and you're still a high school player. I was like,
I wish I was there. We'd have jumped Steph.
I was on Twitter. I said, on Instagram. I like that. I said, oh, I ain't know you was a funny nigga. I said, now we gonna start snapping. I get crazy. You was eating Vaseline and all type of shit. No disrespect, Steph. You know we was fucking with you and shit.
Oh, man.
But that's a good point. I like that because Steph definitely called me a high school basketball player, and I felt the way about that shit, man. I definitely did.
And how old were you when he said it?
It was 4 years ago, 5 years ago. This was recent.
You was in your 40s.
I was in my 40s.
And he called you
he said,
high
yeah.
school player.
I said, yeah. He said, Cam, you know what else he said? I said, Steph, I didn't know you was that funny. He said, yeah, because all you know is do is blow spit bubbles. Pause. I said, oh, you think you know me, nigga. Yo, I said, yo, you're a funny nigga, man. Because I was talking about playing them and putting it on pay-per-view and shit. And I'm like, Steph, you won't win. I seen you got a China game and all that. He said, Cam, I'll kill you. You never made it out of high school. And that's that. So I like the reason I mentioned that because I was cutting to you. But I'll give you that. I like that. That's a good point.
What do you think about the money they're about to pay him?
Who's that?
Pat Mahomes.
He deserves it. Listen, man. Patrick Mahomes is the highest of the high. He's a superstar. Look, only person I ever seen throw it with their left hand, which he's right-handed. Mm-hmm. I seen him, even though it was in practice, he threw a behind the back pass to somebody for a completion. Who throws a behind the back pass in football for a completion? I'm only talking about head-to-head matchup with Joe Burrow. That is my only argument.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is at the top of the top of football players. He's a superstar. He's very marketable. He can do shampoo hair and all type of shit. He's light-skinned enough that side, he
got the complexion for the protection.
And the connection. So at the end of the day, he's very marketable. And I think he's at the top of the top. I don't really think at the end of the day anybody's better than Patrick Mahomes except for Joe Burrow when they play each other.
Yeah.
But the money he's getting, look, how much is it said he's going to make a year? $52 million? You just said something like that?
Yeah. About 52.
Listen, man, I think this is well-deserving of football players. They take the most risks as far as I'm concerned. Other people may argue about it. I seen Draymond Green arguing with Tom Brady about which sport is tougher. And Draymond Green like, Tom, you don't even got to play defense. We got to run up and down the floor.
Wow.
And then Tom Brady said,
Draymond thinks football is softer than basketball?
Yeah, that's a whole debate in itself.
That's what they had.
My goodness.
And then he said that, Tom, you don't play defense. And then Tom Brady said, well, you playing perfect weather every night.
Yeah.
So it's up for debate what certain people think. I know a couple people that think that basketball is harder than football, and I just disagree.
90s basketball might be tougher as football.
But then if you want to go to 60s football when they have no,
with the level helmets.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, it's all debatable or arguable or whatever you may feel. But definitely, we might have that conversation later on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good question. Well, I definitely can't wait to see how y'all's Pat Mahomes and Joe Burrow debates continue because that'll be interesting to see. Okay.
My thing is this. I've never said that Pat isn't at the top of the top. He's just not when it comes to playing Joe Burrows.
All right, let me ask you this then. Let's keep the argument going.
Let's
just
go.
for argument's
Let's
sake.
go.
How do you say out of one breath that he's the Michael Jordan, but then say somebody's better than him? That's a great question.
Because sometimes you got Superman and it's kryptonite. And that's just that nigga's kryptonite, bro. It's just like that.
Who was kryptonite for Mike?
Did you see? Mike don't got no kryptonite. That's the whole thing. He had kryptonite with the Pistons.
Yeah.
And
Detroit.
And then niggas say he figured it out. He had to go Rocky.
He had the weight room.
Yeah, so that was his kryptonite for a minute. And then he said he learned to fix the problem. If you watch it, it's a special on Netflix about NFL players. It's called Quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's called Quarterbacks. Nick is telling me in there. Go look at your man Patrick Mahomes when he loses to Joe Burrow. How he walked in the locker room. Fuck, man! Fuck, man! Episode 6. Go check it out. When you get a chance, you go check that out. Called Quarterbacks.
That was a good one.
It was. I started episode 1, but now I definitely got to tap into it.
Yeah, I definitely got to watch it.
Okay, well, let us know in the comments down below who's your pick, Pat Mahomes or Joe Burrow. With that, we'll be right back.
She called this thing about toxic. 4 years and counting. Got you feeling like an option. Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing I don't know. I'm stubborn in me won't fall. Dealing with this thing called trust. But she really thinking about it, wanna be free.
My expert analyst, and thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, BM. Thank you, bro. All right.
What's his name? Coach Shannon. He said, I want winners.
Well, we can continue from here, actually. And then that Brandon Marshall just called me in to respect my analyzation on how I broke down the whole Colorado game with 10 minutes through stat alley-oop that she missed the dunk. And I don't know too much what he has. He said that you roll with winners.
Well, I love Brandon, but Brandon, I love Brandon.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
He's like, that's it. Nothing else.
Beyond, what's up, man? Thank you for the call, but thank you for showing the show love, man. Brandon Marsh was one of the first people that reached out to all of us and showed us a lot of love, and he still continues to do the same thing. So we appreciate you, BM, and make sure you check out his channel as well. I Am Athlete.
Yep, definitely. Okay. So let's get into our underdog fantasy picks of the day. This Thursday, the Giants will play the 49ers. So this is one of the special picks I mentioned earlier. Underdog fantasy has Daniel Jones at half of 1 yard. Do you have him higher or lower?
When you
Half
say
of 1 yard passing,
rushing.
Total yards, just his total yards. That's a special pick.
total,
Yeah.
of course he's gonna have higher.
Only time that shit popped off is with Aaron Rodgers. Niggas hoping
I
niggas
think,
get hurt.
yeah,
They hoping niggas get hurt again.
Underdog.
Yeah, they
Fantasy underdog is running. They running something.
Niggas got. Niggas might got to hit on nigga.
One more person do not get a half a yard.
Hey yo, Nick, and Underdog, you know I love you now. If niggas gonna start questioning this shit in a minute now. If Daniel don't get more than 1.5 yards total, we under investigation, all of us. I'll tell you that right now. I'll tell you that right now for a fact. I'm going higher.
Okay.
Nick probably got people that I know. They. He probably do. And when you know, you know. What am I going to say?
Right.
You know when they talk good, the nigga said, because when you know, you know, you know. When you know, you know, you know. Okay. I realized something.
What'd you realize?
I realized something. You not there yet, but you are on, I ain't gonna. If it's 30, if Dame Dash is at 44th floor, you're about on 38. Nobody beats Dame in the argument. I don't care who you are. You got a couple more.
I'll take that.
Yo, that's a compliment.
I'll take that. See?
Dame, if the building got 44 floors, you on the way up to 38, man. Because Dame has no idea, and I can't say about football, but he'll come in here and argue us until the lights go out in this shit, my nigga.
Man.
And Brock Purdy is at 225.5 passing yards. Do you have him higher or lower?
225.5. Who they play?
The Giants.
I'm going higher.
I'm going lower. First game, 220. Second game, 208. Like I said, I think he's really a game manager at this point. So Kyle Shanahan lets him prove that he's not. Maybe the Giants are a team that they may let him loose on pause. I think that if the Giants would have lost this weekend that just passed, they made a great comeback. I think they may have been a little more loose being that they're 1-1. I think that I'm going to keep them under game management. The Giants were outscored 60-0 before they scored a point in 2 games. They was down. They didn't score any points the first game. They was down, 30 at halftime or something like that. Mm-hmm. And they scored all their points in the second half of the second game. They may have some momentum. I think Kyle Shanahan's going to run the boat. And I think Brock Purdy, that's his average, in between 200 and 220 yards per game. I'm not going to give him a higher than that till I see further.
Okay. Well.
And you said 255?
225.
225. I'm going to stay there.
Okay.
Higher.
Noted. Okay. Make sure to download the Underdog Fantasy app, and you can make your picks too. Okay. In an interview, Ocho Cinco was asked as a bet, if the Bengals don't win the Super Bowl, I bet you don't eat McDonald's. And Ocho responded, no. He said he'd rather give up sex before giving up McDonald's. Thoughts on his statement?
Let Cam go since it's an Ohio thing.
He's from Florida.
He's talking about Ohio though.
Yeah, but he's from Florida.
It's Ohio thing.
Whole thing about it is he didn't win in Ohio. He didn't win there. I don't know if Chad won. Chad, you know what's funny about Chad? I know Chad gonna have something slick to say.
Yeah,
it's
you
all
need
good.
to
I fuck
watch
with
what
Chad.
you're saying because Chad is watching.
I don't watch what I'm saying with
You
anybody.
need to watch
I don't
what
watch
you're
what I'm saying
saying
with anybody.
when you're dealing with Chad
I don't watch
because it's
myself
a
with anybody.
Florida thing.
They gonna think you got Alzheimer's soon in a minute, my nigga. In
No,
2
I
minutes.
just said that.
Nah, but he's
For the
from
show.
Florida. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. But I know he's from Florida. And Chad likes to talk slick. But Dion told me I went a little too hard pause on Chad last time we got into a little conflict. So I don't want to come off the wrong way. But Chad, you know McDonald's food is processed. You know it's not real meat paws. It's not real French fries. Pussy is real. I'd rather have what's real and not processed. I don't know if you're getting processed pussy or not, but I'd rather have something real that's not processed. McDonald's is cool when you're in high school and it's nothing else open, anything. Now, I don't know if that's a fact that Mason's going to agree with me because he likes McChicken sandwiches. That's his thing. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
Okay.
Maybe it might be a Florida thing.
It might be a
but
Florida thing.
I'm taking the pussy over McDonald's and go to Wendy's.
That was crazy. Chad, you better have something to say about this. I've been stopped eating McChicken sandwiches.
I didn't say that you still do. I
Yeah.
said that's your shit. I didn't say
Yeah.
that.
But to put that over sex is crazy. But I can't wait to hear what he say to you.
No, it's not a diss. See, this is what happened with Pat Bev when he thought we was
Yeah.
dissing him. The same
Yeah.
shit. It's not a diss. All I'm saying is this. And they going to take it the wrong way, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you said choke you out, Pat. That's when you was my man. That's when you had my back. Shit done changed around here.
For McDonald's. Nigga left you for McDonald's.
So what I say is, listen, like I said, McDonald's is probably, it's not capping, it's processed food. And
Yeah.
McDonald's last year said, with our quarter pounders, we're going to start using real meat, pause. What the fuck you been using
All this
other
time.
time? Yo, keep McDonald's in your kitchen. I'm not saying you're going to do it. Keep McDonald's in your kitchen out there for a week. It won't go bad. It won't spoil. Nothing will happen to it. The burger just still be sitting there cold, but nothing will happen to it. What is that? If it doesn't go bad, it doesn't spoil or anything, you just sitting it on your counter for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, and nothing happens to it. I would get pussy. I go to Checkers. I go to Wendy's. I go to Burger King. It's mad options. Now, them fries is something different. I love them fries. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But they process too. I like the fries, man, but I'm not giving up no pussy. Pussy's delicious. Pussy can be delicious too.
It is not processed.
It's not. Lil Wayne said that's his favorite food. Lil Wayne said every time you ask him what's his favorite food, he say pussy, and it's in my top 5. It's delicious.
Yeah.
Now it depends on make sure it's sanitized and fresh now. Because you know what happens? Let me tell you something about eating pussy real quick. I won't go too deep into this. I don't want nobody to be uncomfortable. Well, what happens is eating pussy because when you first
Earmuffs.
status 20.
I've came this far. Like, it's where do you want me to go, yo?
Yeah, because when you eating pussy and you peel the hood back like of the clip, it's cool. But when it gets wet, that's when that stink come out. You don't know it stink from the beginning. Now it's offensive at this point. Now I'm offended because you ain't do the right thing. And
So at that point, would you rather the McDonald's?
Yes. At that point, I want McDonald's all day.
Probably what
Yeah,
Ocho is
Sharon
talking.
into some bad. Oh my bad, Sharon. Yeah, McDonald's over bad pussy any day. Absolutely, processed food over stink, disgusting pussy,
my
man.
goodness.
So sorry about that. I don't mean to get too deep, but sometimes that happens because the outside is fresh, but when they moist, the real shit comes out. Pause. Sorry.
Hey, interesting take. I don't think any of us expected it to go that way. And fun fact, I've never had a McDonald's burger in my life. Shouldn't even be a shock. So let me know.
Why have you never had a McDonald's burger?
I
It's
don't
nothing to do
like-
with sex. We're asking you.
Yeah, I don't like burgers at all. Like, it's a weird take. Like, anything that has a bun and the meat in it, I don't want it.
That's
I don't
crazy.
like I don't.
You don't
That
eat
was wild.
sandwiches?
No, I don't
Like
like
turkey sandwiches?
I don't like any sandwiches.
Hot dogs.
I don't like any
Glizzies.
sandwiches. I don't
yo.
like any. Right. But I'm the pause. Like,
Yeah.
I don't. Fun fact.
So you
yeah, I don't like
eat-
any sandwiches.
You don't eat sandwiches. Listen, I
take.
think I overheard you say that, but
Every time I'm offered a sandwich, I will say no, respectfully. But yeah,
you was eating that Kentucky Fried Chicken this weekend.
I
That
was.
yeah.
I do like KFC. But let us know your thoughts on Chad's comment. We'll be right back.
She called this thing about toxic. 4 years and counting. Got you feeling like an option. Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing I don't know. What's stubborn in me won't fall. Dealing with this thing called trust. But she really thinking about it. Wanna be free. Why am I here this woman wanna be free? Hell, I don't wanna see her walk away. I wish somebody told me the rules. Disagreements let her win, and it's cool. Even when I'm right, this ain't no-
We are joined by our special guest, Damian Lillard. He was the 6th pick in the 2012 NBA draft. He is a 7-time NBA All-Star and 7-time All-NBA team selection, being the only player in Blazers franchise history to do so. He was also selected to the NBA's 75th anniversary team and won a gold medal in the 2020 U.S. Olympic team. Introducing Dame Dollar.
Dang, what's up, man? What's the deal?
What's good, man?
What's
I
up?
appreciate all those shout outs too.
Of course,
man.
of
Come
course.
on, man. Like, you earned them
That was
joints.
accurate,
Exactly.
man.
Yeah, man.
Very
You earned
accurate.
all them
Yeah.
joints, man.
Killer, before we start, he's Dame Dollar, so I welcome to the dollar sign family.
I thought you was euro signing there. Now you're back to dollar sign because he said,
I'm welcoming him to the
But listen,
family.
before it was this, it was this.
Yeah, you're right.
So stop acting crazy. Dane, what's up, man?
What's good?
Nothing, man. First of all, congratulations on your new album. What's it called so everybody can make sure they go download
Don
it?
Dollar.
Don
Don
Dollar.
Dollar is my 5th album. It's on all streaming services.
How do you feel when people say Shaq is a better rapper than you and he beat you in the battle that y'all had?
I mean, I don't really care that they say he's better. I feel like that's mostly like OGs, people that's older that is from that era. That's
You
like,
trying
man,
to diss
Shaq.
us right now? That's what you're trying to say? You
Nah.
trying to play us? That's what you're
Nah,
trying to say?
because I feel like y'all real rappers, so y'all would listen to the same thing that they listen to, and y'all be like, okay, like this not the same thing.
I
But
dig it.
people who from that era, they gonna be like, man, yeah, Shaq this, Shaq that, and I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I can eat that, but
Who else was it? Michael Bagley? Who else was using a few basketball rap battles?
well, the first one was Marvin Bagley.
Marvin Bagley.
Yeah, it was him. And then we did that, and then I actually was on a podcast, on Joe Budden's podcast, and he was like, who the best rapper
Right,
ever play a sport or whatever? And I was like, me.
right.
And he was like, what about Shaq? I said, Shaq got accolades, you know what I'm saying? Like, I respect it, but Shaq was more of a figure, you know what I'm saying? He was popular.
What did he
big
say his favorite? Who
personality.
did he say was better?
Who, Joe?
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
I just remember when we talked about it, like I was trying to give Shaq his love because
Right.
it is what it is. He was platinum. He did his thing. I was saying just as an artist, like if you just go straight to who raps better and who stuff is better, I was like, I think I'm the best.
Right.
So Shaq.
Now you rap, nigga.
So Shaq got mad. I wouldn't even say he got mad. He
Right.
just felt like no, you not better than me, and then he dissed me.
Okay.
And that's how it turned into a little back and forth. But I ain't seen nobody say he beat me.
Okay.
Like I ain't seen that.
I'm just saying, like, I did. I'm not
Yeah.
agreeing with that. I'm just saying, like, you're right, though. The older generation, even older than us,
Yeah.
you know, they're going to be like, Shaq's the best. Snoop said it the other day when he said nobody's better than Shaq. I guess he put out a new song or some shit. But Snoop's a little older than us, too, man. So
And
just
he
wanted to
also
get-
from LA. You know what I'm saying? He was on the Lakers. They probably folks. You know,
Okay.
he gotta say that. He can't not say that. You know what I mean?
Y'all like, you petty about this rap shit.
you-
I mean, if you think about
He
it,
like
if you think about it, he
Snoop
can't.
bias.
Yeah, he definitely
He
biased.
can't not say that.
Right.
If you think about it, he can't not say that.
I'm gonna say who's better and who's not better, but I think that you're really a rapper. You can compete with real rappers. Like some athletes are just rappers for entertainers to be entertainment, or just because they got momentum. Like you could get in a cypher or in a battle or whatever. You could go with BT and rap with niggas and all that type shit. So I definitely respect your rap skills. Word. You want to set it off?
Yeah, I wanted to ask some things because I noticed, like in the late games, you're very confident. Where does that confident, that faith come from?
I mean, I would say it comes from just the environment I grew up in. I grew up with a lot of cousins, aggressive neighborhood where it was always competition, whether that was racing pole to pole. Don't
Hey,
pause
yo,
me on
that's
that one.
crazy.
Racing pole to pole.
Hey,
I was trying to be cool
Crazy.
about
I knew
it.
that was
You know,
coming.
that
man.
That
My
was a
fault.
2-game
My fault.
suspension
My
right
fault.
there, Jay.
I was gonna let it slide, but that was just a little bit.
Oh,
The thing about it is he
man.
knew it himself. He
When I
like-
said it, I was like, "Oh, that he for sure
already
gonna get
said.
that one."
Racing pole to
But I
pole.
mean, just the stuff like that. Everything was a competition. So
Yeah.
And when it didn't go your way, it was like you getting clowned, everybody talking about it. There was a lot of pressure on those environments. So I just think I kind of grew into that. And then just knowing how hard I work, I think people say they do this and they do that. But when you know in your heart that you're doing all this stuff to prepare yourself, once you get in that moment, it's like, I prepared to do well and to
Yeah.
succeed. And if I don't, it is what it is. Like, it ain't because of a lack of preparation. So I think knowing those things, it just make me calm.
What made you play basketball as opposed to any other sport?
I played basketball and I played football, but my older cousins, my older brother played football. They all got scholarships, and just the injuries,
Right.
ACLs and ribs and fingers, everything, like that. I was like, man, I'm gonna just hoop. I just stuck to hoop.
When they drug tested you, were you offended about that? When you hit the
Nah.
71?
Nah, I feel like that's a thing in the league now. I don't think if they drug test me right after, it ain't got nothing to do with it. Like
I would be the fuck offended.
Yeah.
I bet it's decided in advance. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? It ain't like they were just like, oh, we got to randomly drug test you. You just don't know. So, I mean, I wasn't offended.
Oh, because it wasn't because of the 71?
Nah.
That's how I
That's
thought.
what
See,
I thought.
everybody,
That's what-
when they
I thought
report
this
it,
nigga
when
was
people talk
going
about it, they
crazy.
make it seem like, oh, he got tested because he had 71. But there's games where you might have 21 and you get tested, but don't nobody tweet or Instagram nothing about that shit because it ain't the same story. You feel
What
me?
are they testing for?
Performance enhancing, all that stuff. They ain't testing for weed.
Oh.
Did you feel a way when the Portland Trailblazers drafted Scoot Henderson?
No. I mean, me and Scoot, we've had a few conversations with him coming into the league. That wasn't a deal breaker for me at all. I respect his game. I think in that position, he was the best player available. So, that's what you got to do if you got the pick. But no, I wasn't offended at all because at the end of the day, you got to come in and you got to play. And I've been doing this a long time. So it was, to me, that wasn't a knock on me or anything that would offend.
Being that it's just reports out there and saying that you may not want to stay in Portland or may want to stay in Portland, how do you feel when other players kind of get their way to get out of teams that they're already on. Like, let's not even sugarcoat it. When James Harden throws a tantrum or whatever, no disrespect, James, whatever you do to get the fuck out the team,
Right.
however you fuck, I don't know what the fuck you pull off,
Right.
pause, but you get out of whatever situation
Right.
you want to get out of.
Right.
How does that make you feel? Not saying that you necessarily want to leave Portland,
Right.
but let's just say, for instance, if you did want to leave or you did want something else and somebody else gets their way immediately, how does that make you feel as a player who may not get the way that they want to?
I mean,
go where they want to go.
I don't go into no situation just expecting to just always have my way. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I think in anything, you have what you want or whatever your desires is, and that's what I have. But if it don't go my way, I'm just like, that's what it is. But just because somebody else is willing to go whatever route they go, it's certain things that I'm just not going to do because it ain't a part of who I am. So I'm not going to ever get beside myself on, principle shit that I stand on. And that's one of them.
Gotcha.
Whatever is going on that's getting in the way of me getting what I ultimately might want, I'm not going to let how that play out determine, me kind of stepping off my square with, who I am.
Gotcha.
That was good. I want to ask you something outside of basketball, just to give people an overall view about Damian Lillard. Well, if you had to pick right now with this upcoming election, who would you pick, Trump or Biden?
Okay.
Hey, man.
That's a good one.
That's crazy. That's crazy to ask, man. I'm passing on that one. Man. I don't deal with politics, man.
I would have passed on that shit
Yeah.
too, man.
Man.
Let me ask you this. This upcoming season, do you want to stay in Portland?
In a perfect world, I could spend my entire career in Portland.
Yeah, Portland's home. Listen, one thing I'll say about you, nigga, is this, man. It's a lot of times where we knew as fans that Portland wasn't going to win. And I remember watching you do an interview and they was asking how many players want to go back and play for their home team where they grew up at. And of course, everybody knows you from Oakland, the Bay Area, whatever. And of course, Golden State is up there. You was on nigga time, like, not me, nigga. I don't want to be, like, basically, like, nah, I ain't on that type. I'm not on that bandwagon type shit. So I definitely get that from you. And what I want to ask is this. What were you feeling? Do you like Portland that much knowing, now I know they threw your fucking bag. The money was, your money, $500 million, it's a lot of money. But because of your standards and your morals, is that why you stayed there knowing that you guys weren't winning, or did you feel that you had a chance to win?
I feel like everybody else thought it was impossible for us to win. I think part of being a competitor, we are kind of delusional about what the possibilities are. And there was some seasons where I would have moments where I'm like, man, we probably don't got a chance to win at all, but we could shock people. And then there was other seasons where I was like, we can do something this year.
Right.
Like the year we went to the Western Conference Finals, I was like, we can do something this year. I didn't know what it was going to be, but I felt like we can compete with whoever. But I would say just the fact that everybody else thought one thing, I just feel like I didn't think what everybody else thought. That's why I was able to just say whatever I needed to say
Right.
so strongly, because I really believed it. But as far as like Golden State, like I respect what they've been doing over the last 8-9 years or whatever. And I'm from there. Obviously, that's home, but I can't go be a part of that.
I agree.
Like they done won 4 championships. Like what I look like going to try to do that and say, oh, I'm joining my home team. Like, no, it's somebody that played my position that's, behind LeBron, the best player of this era. You know what I'm saying? So it don't even, to me, that don't even make sense. I'd never do nothing like that. I'll lose every year before I go.
So you trying to say what KD did, you wouldn't do that?
If I'm,
If Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant, my man, I'm not talking about
I've
it.
said this plenty of times before. I think KD is, obviously, he's one of the greatest players of all time, but if I was in his shoes, I wouldn't have done that personally. Like, I just felt like it's the team they lost to. It's a team that had been, I think they had won it a couple times, or they had won it once before he got there. I wouldn't have been able to, that ain't something that I would have did, but I think for everybody's situation, you got to do what you
Nah,
want to do.
Yeah, KD's my nigga. Like, that's my nigga. That, like, we talk all the time. But see, I think what KD is, and this is what I'm asking you, and not necessarily Golden State. I think a lot of players, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, this is all speculation of what Cam thinks. A lot of players say, look, I got my bag, now I want a ring.
Yeah.
Then you say, if you get your ring early, you be like, all right, cool, I got the ring out the way, I want my bag. And I think for me, that's how KD was thinking, like, look, I got my rings out the way, I'm gonna go try and see if I get this shit done in Brooklyn, which it didn't happen. Now he's back in Phoenix where he thinks something could happen. So I just think that he got his rings, and now it ain't about that. You know, after he had lost, he had lost in Game 6 last year in Phoenix against Denver. I was at his crib, and I'm like, yo, K, you got to be a little more selfish. He's like, Kim, he's like, Kim, shut the fuck up. I got every fucking award. I got scoring title. I got a league MVP. I got to fucking win another championship. And that was his mind state because he's rich as fuck. He already got the bread. So what do you think right now? Your money's documented. Is a ring something that has to be I mean, it doesn't have to be, but is that something that you desire before you leave?
Yeah, that's what we play for. That's what I play for.
Right.
You know, that's why I train hard. That's why I even come back how I come back. You know, that's what we go for. And I think that goes for everybody. And when I look at my resume in the end, you know, of course I want it to be, like you said, gold medal, 7-time or 8, whatever, how many times, all NBA, all-star, and you know, you want to have NBA champion on there. And I think everybody want to experience that parade and being on the float and, you know, making whatever city proud, you know what I mean? So I think we all want that. And that's definitely something that I want to have before my career ends. But I'm also one of those people that's like, I'm gonna put my best foot forward, and if it don't happen, for me, that ain't the end all be all, you know? People have said in the past, like, man, you say that because you haven't won or because you don't have a ring yet. And I'm just like, that's before I was in the NBA, that's how I viewed it for players that they talked about like that. Like when they talk about Charles Barkley, I'm like, how y'all speaking on Charles Barkley like this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't got a ring. Karl Malone don't got a ring. Like, these is real legends.
Yeah, Reggie Miller, Patrick Ewing.
And I'm going to feel that way even after I win a championship. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my lens on it.
Do you think that they got rid of C.J. McCullough because Simon started playing good?
No, I don't think so. I think me and CJ, we was in the backcourt for like 8 years together. And we both was making a lot of money, but we was like size. You know, our game was real similar.
Right.
And, you know, I felt like they knew that it was time for us to figure out a different situation. You know what I mean? And me and CJ had talked about that for years. Like, we knew that it's
business.
gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah, like, if it was ever anybody to be a partner with that, you know, we was transparent and we had open conversations about everything, it was me and him. Like, we knew this was coming. We knew it was a possibility. And when it came, it wasn't a shocker. Me and him was on the phone the night before he got traded. Like, tomorrow, I think it's finna
Right.
I think it's finna happen tomorrow. Like, we was talking about it like that. So we knew that it had to happen because it didn't work out for so many years. So it was like, all right, we gotta pivot and try what's next. And that's all that happened.
Gotcha.
How did you end up at Weber State?
I was just under recruited. That was it. I was under recruited. Growing up, I played for the local program. I didn't play for like a big AAU program. We sold seeds candy, did all the raffles to like fund our program. And
Oh, so y'all was standing in the middle of the street selling candy?
Yeah, we was selling candy, raffle tickets, all that. So like that program, I eventually started to get a lot better, and other programs wanted me to play for their programs. But these was, you know, people I grew up with, the coaches that used to give me rides and shit home from practice and feed me, and I'm spending the night at their house and shit like that. So I just never even thought about, you know, going to play on the Soldiers or another team that's playing in front of high major schools. And shit, eventually I started getting recruited, but it was all, you know, Weber State, Portland State, Boise State, like smaller schools.
How do you feel when Patrick Beverly starts laughing and shit, acting like he's better than you at time to time. And people, and no disrespect, because me and, you know, Pat got a little attitude with us and shit on the show. I don't know if he's a fan of the show anymore or whatever. But when the Patrick Beverleys of the world, and also it was Paul George that one year, I remember that particular year. I remember you and Paul George spoke or squashed it or whatever. I don't know if Pat Bever's the same. When those type of players try to disrespect you, how do you feel?
I mean,
and I don't want to say those type of players, because the reason I'm saying those is because you're obviously an all-star.
He's like an agitator. Just,
he's a defensive specialist in the NBA, and you're an all-star. How do you feel when he starts laughing when you miss a free throw and he's like, oh, Dave, how the fuck is this nigga?
I mean, I think for every time that I've tapped my wrist or something like that, they got to take it when it happened to them. So when they do what they do, like in the bubble, that's what you're talking about. When they was on the side, like, oh, he missed 2 free throws. I was like, I can think of maybe 2 times in my career where I missed 2 free throws at the end of a game. And I'm not even sure I can remember a second time other than I just know it probably happened once before. But I wasn't really tripping that they did it. It was just, they just kept going on and on and on and on. And I still wasn't tripping. But after the game, they was like, what do you think about them doing, you know, all the shit they was doing? And that was my opportunity to shoot back. So I was like, shit, I'll be doing that too if they got sent home in the playoffs by me. Like both of them got sent home in the playoffs on separate occasions. So after that,
when you wave by the niggas,
yeah, in OKC, and then my first one when I was 23 against the Rockets, he was on the Rockets when I hit a buzzer beater to win the series against them. And that was the end of the series. So I said that, and then they, you know, the clip was everywhere, and then they started saying stuff on Instagram. And I just basically responded like, man,
fuck out
y'all
of here.
niggas is chumps. That's all I said. And then that was when it, you know, niggas felt a little way or whatever. But anytime it's a back and forth, if I feel like it's disrespect involved, I'm gonna go straight to disrespect. And I'm either gonna say nothing or I'm gonna say something where, you know, something gotta get stood on. So that's just where I went off the rip.
A similar question. Because of an interview, there's a narrative that you don't like Jordan Poole because he kept talking smack on you at a game.
Yeah, that's false though.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Can you elaborate on what had happened and like your
So
viewpoint on him?
what happened was I think it was his rookie year maybe.
Mhm.
Jordan Poole, like, you know, I think Steph was hurt. Their whole team was hurt. So there was a bunch of young dudes on the court. We playing them. He did a little step back. He hit a 3 on me, and he was like, yeah, bitch ass nigga, something. So I was like, all right. Feel me? I wasn't tripping.
Sure.
I wasn't tripping because I could tell he was just amped up. You know what I mean? So the game keeps going. I think I had like 40 in that game, but they beat us because they just had young energy. We was on their home court. It just was a bad night for us. But in the second quarter, I was at the free throw line and I hear him behind me just talking. So I turned around like, man, shut up. Like, Draymond, tell this nigga to shut up like that. So he was like, you shut me up. Like he was on that. So then once I felt like it turned into that, I felt like something got to happen. So that's kind of where I took it. We both start talking, and I just start, you know, talking to him crazy. And second half, the game go how it go. They beat us, and I did an interview, and they was asking me about that interaction. And when I was talking about it, I told the story like this, and I basically was like, I felt like we was gonna have to do something. And they cut the clip short, but basically I said all that stuff to say like, that's how I started to learn who he was, because he was doing all this talking. So I kind of started to follow him as a player, and I noticed that he was getting better. Like he started hooping. He leaned out. He got like, you know, at first he had some little baby fat on him when he first came in the league. And then he just leaned out. He seemed quicker. He seemed more twitchy. His game just tightened up. And I started to follow him, and I was like, at first I didn't really mess with him because of that interaction. But I was like, I actually like his game. So that's what the clip was. But they cut it short at me saying that and then saying I ain't really mess with him at that time. But then everybody was like, see, Dame don't like Jordan Poole. I was like, I ain't got no problem with Jordan Poole. But because I just speak openly, they just kind of can cut it where they want to cut it and turn it into what they want, which I don't care about that either.
Yeah.
Just to jump real quick, I'm sorry to cut you off, mate, because I want to elaborate on this real quick.
Yeah.
With that being said, was you not surprised when Draymond knocked him out because you know he talks like that?
I mean, like, I know Draymond.
Like when you seen it, look, let's nigga out.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
nigga shit. Look, my nigga, you seen it, you was like, well, that's the type of nigga this nigga is. This nigga's gonna end up knocking him out.
Eventually that was gonna
Your
happen.
first thought.
When I seen it, my first thought was like something along those lines must have happened. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like something was said that really pushed him to that point. 'Cause
Right.
I don't see Draymond like just
Right.
clicking off like that, you know, in a heartbeat. So it had to be built up, a lot of words being exchanged. So that was my first thought. Like, damn, like he must have been saying a whole lot of shit, you know?
Yeah. Because you saying he's a talker.
Like
Yeah.
you said, I don't approve, but I
Yeah,
understand.
better him than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish Draymond didn't do it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? But
I think whoever leaked it that was the sucker shit. Whoever
that was
put the
weak.
shit out, you know.
that
what
was
I'm saying?
weak. But Draymond, one of those people, man, they gon' because his attitude and how he is on the court, he one of those easy people to try to make look like
Right.
he the type that he really ain't. You know what I'm saying? He actually is a cool.
Nah, I speak to Draymond. Draymond's, I fuck with Draymond.
Yeah, Poole had the right mindset though, because you was like that with Kobe when you first came in.
See, but I would have never talked crazy to him. You know what I'm saying? Like my rookie year, I literally went head to head with Kobe at the end of the season. They was trying
Yeah.
to make a run to the playoffs. But I mean, I ain't gonna say I knew better because I wasn't scared or nothing. But I mean, I was gonna give him that respect. Like, man, I'm gonna go at you, but I ain't gonna try to, you know what I mean? I ain't
Yeah.
gonna do all that.
See, and let me ask you this. My
But the
man,
game has changed like that too, though.
Yeah.
It's
my man
different.
Larry brought this up. And like I said, we're not gonna go too much into leaving Portland or anything like that. We'll let that see how that plays out. And if you, of course, I know you love Portland, so you definitely want to leave. But let me ask you this. By being the way you are, and when I say the way you are, no problems, no headaches,
Yeah.
no scandals, clean cut. You come to play, you give 110% of your effort when you're not hurt or injured. You don't hear no shit outside your rapping
Mm.
and your basketball and being a great father
Yeah.
and family man. Do you think that plays into a part of you may not being able to go where you want to go if you wanted to go somewhere? Because listen, my thing is this. I'm like, I'm a GM. I'm not getting rid of you to get a headache from a nigga who may be going out every night partying. We don't know
Yeah,
what
for
time
real.
this nigga's coming in. He's
Yeah.
smoking weed, all this type of stuff. You are so clean cut, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm
Yeah.
saying that in a, if
Yeah.
y'all doing something, we'll never know the fuck about
Right.
it. You know what I'm saying? Do you think that plays into a part where, like, you know, sorry to keep bringing them up, like with James Harden, you'd be like, oh, this nigga lost, he going to
Yeah.
Atlanta to the strip club as soon as they lose in the playoffs. You think that plays a part into it?
I don't think it play a part in it. The only thing that I think that affects is like, you know, your celebrity or, you know, how much people pay attention to what you're doing because it ain't being consistent and just doing what you're supposed to do is boring. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers want to know like what you was doing and what happened when when you was at this place or that place. Like, I just rap. I hoop. I kick it with my family, my cousins, my brother. Like, that's all I be on, and I think that's just boring. But I don't think it play no role in whether or not you're gonna be able to get something done or not. I do think when you draft somebody, I feel like I represent. If you look at 10 years after you're gonna draft somebody in the top 5 or top 10, you like, what do we want from this nigga? Like, we want him to perform at all-star level. We want to win. We don't want no headaches. We want to be a good person. We want people to enjoy coming to work with them. And I represent all those things. Like, I lead. I ain't a scary nigga. Like, I'm bold. When it come time where somebody got to step and not be worried about what somebody gonna say and the outcome if it go bad or whatever, like, they know I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I ain't go forward under none of those circumstances. So when you look at what you want your draft pick to look like at this stage after you picked them, I feel like I represent that. So, I mean, if anything, I should be able to get that respect in return if
I
ever
agree.
it was something that I asked,
Absolutely.
That was good. So if you could win a ring, or you could go diamond, but you could only choose one, which one would it be?
I win a ring, bro.
You want a ring?
Yeah. Going diamond is crazy though.
Diamond is wild.
But I feel like this
basketball's
is
first though.
yeah. I mean, but this is what this is my lifetime investment. You know what I'm saying? So
Let me ask you
the
something.
ring is what it is for me.
It was just a recent argument, or people been talking about it. Who do you think is better, or the best, or however you want to put it? There's, it's debating about Magic Johnson and Steph Curry. Who's the greatest point guard, or who's better, or what's your opinion on that? Or if neither one of those, who is your think is the best point guard of all time?
I think Magic is the best point guard of all time. I think Steph Curry.
The fuck is you thinking? Whoever said, yo, what
I
the
think
fuck
Magic.
is wrong with you, man? You just make yourself right about shit that nobody even argued about. Go ahead, man.
No, I think
Yeah.
Magic. I think Magic is the greatest point guard of all time. Just because, I mean, the way he dominated the game, the versatility, the size, the swag, the flashiness that he brought. You know, he made them the Showtime Lakers. So I mean, I think that's undeniable. You know, the resume and who he is from way back then until now. You know, when Magic walk in the room, it's like that's Magic. You know,
Yeah, and it ain't no 6'9" point guards running around today.
Nobody doing what he was doing like that. You know, the charisma, like everything that he brought. I don't think nobody has been that, and I think Steph is right there. But I think you just from somebody that plays against Steph and is, you know, I played against him a lot. We've been playing in the league at the same time. I think a lot of times he's more in a shooting guard type of role. You know, it's a lot of movement off the ball. Draymond is almost like the actual point guard of the team, even though Steph is the point guard.
Right.
You know, I think if Steph played in the offense like me, where it was required for him to have the ball more, you know, we'd get to see him do more point guard stuff.
You think Steph is better than you?
I don't think nobody is better than me. Like I don't think nobody's better than me when I get on the court. That's probably my greatest strength is I believe what I believe, and that's what it is.
You think you're the best point guard in the NBA right now?
Yeah.
Who's second, third, fourth, and fifth?
Second, third, fourth, and fifth.
There's only two other ones.
Mace is 20, 30. Yo, Mace, leave me
a lot of
alone
great
with my
point
questions, man. It's the 30-point starting point guard.
He knows what I'm talking about. He understands.
If I wanted to ask you a question, I would ask you a question. I speak to you every day. I'm asking him his picks.
Okay. Let him go.
He has to play against these people, so I want to know exactly who he's picking. You're not playing. You're also a high school basketball player like me. We didn't make
I'm an
it past
expert analyst.
You have not made it past the high school basketball level. Thank you.
Steph. Trying to think all the teams. Ja Morant. I put Ja Morant up there.
Let's do this instead of now. Who's the best? Name three other point guards that you played against that you think are just as good as Steph.
I don't think nobody's.
Well, that's the wrong way to put it. What's the best 3-point guard you played against?
The only point guard in the league that I would say was better than me is Steph Curry. But
I asked the question wrong. What's the best 3 you played against?
Steph, Kyrie Irving, and Russell Westbrook.
Kyrie, nigga.
Those are the two I was talking about.
Of course you was. Of course. Of course. This nigga right here.
Kyrie really different.
I think Kyrie,
he the most skilled. His game is he got the most beautiful game in NBA history.
What I say is this. I say this all the time. I say I don't think that there's anybody that puts on more of a show than Kyrie, whether it's entertainment-wise, not necessarily saying the best of point guard or whatever, but I believe he's definitely top 5. But somebody I would go pay my money to go see is Kyrie Irving because he puts on a show every time he gets on the court. It's almost Harlem Globetrotters to me.
Yeah, this shit crazy. Like you can't work on the shit that he be doing.
Right.
That's a gift.
Yeah, like I've never, like I said, we was having a little argument we was filming earlier about a level of basketball we went to, but you know, to me, and I could be wrong, it's something that you may be answering. I've never practiced, even when I used to play basketball, shooting off the wrong foot with the wrong hand. Like jumping off your left foot and shooting with your left hand. Is that something you practice?
I didn't start working on that until the last 2 years. Cause
Right.
it's like,
Yeah.
that's, at first it came off like, oh, this is just some cute shit that people doing. Now it's literally harder for bigs to time that layup.
Right.
You go right, left,
They
like
know
this,
what's
they
coming
can
up.
time that. But when it's just like you in stride and you just,
Right.
like, that's how you score and not get your shit pinned on the glass. So it's actually something that everybody's doing now. Same leg, same hand.
First thing I seen was Kyrie doing that shit.
He probably was the first nigga you seen do a lot of stuff because he just be making it up on right there in the moment.
A nigga on our team used to do that and get set down.
He was in special ed.
He used to get set.
he wasn't even in regular school. He was in special ed.
A
No
nigga on our team
no
was in
disrespect to
special
special
ed,
ed.
but he used to do that all the time.
What are you talking about?
Tim Gibbs.
Yeah, Tim was fucking good, man. We just didn't like Tim, and he got hurt, and we needed Tim, man.
Yeah.
What would you had some questions
That
for Dame?
shit crazy how much y'all remember high
Yeah.
school like that.
Nah, that's how much fun. Did you see our clip?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bitch was mad. You wanted the ball, bro?
Yo, man. Yo, you know what? You know what's fucking crazy? I'm gonna send this shit to you. So last night we in the crib.
Yeah.
No homo, pause. So somebody misses a shot. This is like some high school kids playing, but it's like a pickup game. But you
Yeah.
could tell it was still referees. The doing team say, "Fucking Cam Mason, pass me the fucking ball." These niggas like 15 years old. I'm like, the fuck? Yo, I've been watching that shit like 20 times on my phone. I said, yo, I was like, I ain't know that. Yo, Dame, I was cooking. You know what I'm saying? This is what happened. I was cooking. This is my nigga. He had 1 point that game. No, he had 2.
Cam. Soon as I got in the game,
had one?
as soon as I got in the game, the commentator said, "This is Mason Betha. He's the heart and soul of this team. Where he goes, the team goes. Don't forget that clip."
Just got rid of Marcus Smart. He was the heart and soul. Niggas on the guitar. He take your ass to Memphis.
You feel what I'm saying, Dame?
They get rid of the
If
heart
I
and
get the
soul.
ball, we
they
win.
keep Jason Tatum. They
The
keep
team
Jalen
go as you
Brown.
go.
Yeah, as I go.
Let me ask you this, just on this note, because we gotta get ready to wrap up in a
Yeah.
minute. If I got 17 points and he got 2 and there's 4 seconds left,
Shoot that shit, bro.
thank you.
Let it fly, man.
Thank you, man. That's what I'm saying.
Let it fly, man.
That's exactly why.
He's a hater,
Even
man.
Jordan realized you gotta give it to Paxson.
Listen, man.
He's open.
That's a good point.
That shit happened. They tell that one story of him giving it to Paxson because he hated it. That shit didn't happen often.
That's all Paxson got.
Niggas was not getting the ball, man.
That's what's up, man. Is there anything else I want to ask them?
Yeah. So before we end, I do have 2 more
You got
questions.
anything else? So,
No, that was good.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Okay, so LaMarcus Aldridge meshed with you as a rookie, and there's a clip of you doing the Dougie in front of the crowd that's
Yeah.
resurfaced. Have you seen it
Yeah.
resurfacing again? Okay, so for fun, have you ever made the rookies do anything?
Oh, they
similar
do
to
that every year.
Okay, but like,
we do our
have you?
fan fest, that same
Yeah.
event where I did it at. Like they knew when I came to camp, I was like happy to be there. So they was like having me rap and dance and stuff every day. So they actually was gonna not have me do it, but the other rookies on the team, they was like scared. They was like, "Man, damn, come show them how they supposed to do it." So every year at that same event, I be having the rookies do it.
Yeah, real quick before we go, you got these are new kicks?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's show what's the new kicks.
yeah, man.
I like
Yeah, man.
show everybody the new dollars.
Make sure you put them on. You ain't gonna have two, bro. you go get some baskets.
We appreciate it, man. Thank you so
Damn,
much.
he'd hit me. We'd have been in Kentucky. So it wasn't in the cards,
Dave,
you know?
Hey,
He said we'd have been in
he's
Kentucky.
We'd have been in Kentucky.
We 5'11", man. Yo, thanks a lot, man. Make sure y'all go
So-
pick up Dame's new album.
So,
The new kicks, these is fly as fuck, man. And me and Dame just shot a video together for his album. When is that dropping, Dame?
Man, the album dropped a couple of weeks ago, but I brought y'all this too,
Oh,
man.
thank
See
you,
what
man. We
y'all can
appreciate
catch,
it, man. Thank you.
But
Where's
the video? The
Yep.
video dropping soon, man.
Okay,
Dropping
cool,
ASAP.
man.
See, Dame threw me the ball. Oh.
That was bum. Dame actually. Hey, yo, we gonna wrap. Dame threw me the ball.
That's right.
Let's wrap up on that note. You're losing bad lately. You're losing bad.
Well, that's all the time.
You know, he threw it and he caught it.
Wow.
Now we even.
Yeah, you got
Yo, Dave, thank you for coming up, man. We appreciate it and we looking forward. I hope you got some tickets for it. We gonna pull up in Portland, man. Definitely.
Yes, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. Dame, thank you for being here. And as always, it is what it is.
What you want, nigga? Everything, nigga, super size. Two Big Macs, like when they doing them 2 for $5.